My own family invented a fake storm to get rid of me on Christmas. But when they called the next day, begging for my signature, they had no idea their perfect holiday was about to cost them $10 million. The text lit up my phone on Christmas Eve. Massive storm. Dinner canceled. Everyone stay home. I looked outside. A light drizzle. Not a single snowflake. And the lie was so much colder than the weather. I spent Christmas morning completely alone, grieving the family I wished I had. Then I opened Instagram, and my entire world shattered. There they were, my parents, my aunts, my cousins, all smiling, laughing, raising champagne glasses at my sister's perfect house. The caption, "The perfect Christmas with the ones who matter most." I was the only one not there, the only one who didn't matter. I drove to my parents' house first, a desperate thread of hope still alive in my chest. Maybe they were sick, maybe they didn't want me to catch it, but their driveway was empty, spotless. They weren't sick, they just weren't here. My hand shook on the steering wheel. I knew where they were. There was only one other place, the one place I truly despised, my sister's multi-million-dollar mansion in Buckhead. I turned onto her street, my heart hammering a painful rhythm against my ribs. And then I saw it. My father's black Mercedes, my mother's silver Lexus, Uncle Robert's Escalade. It wasn't just them. It was everyone. Every single person who was supposed to be staying home was here. I parked around the corner, my legs like jelly. I crept through the shadows like a criminal, an intruder in my own family's life. I moved toward the large bay window, music and laughter spilling out into the night. I peeked over the sill, and there it was. The scene was a perfect painting I wasn't allowed to be in. My grandmother's best china, crystal glasses, my father laughing, his face split in a wide grin, my mother, beaming, her hand on my sister's chair, and my sister, Amani, radiant in a sparkling red dress, holding a glass of champagne. They were raising their glasses, toasting to family, to the perfect Christmas. I was crouched in the cold, damp earth, a million miles away from their warmth. The chill I felt had nothing to do with the winter air. It was the cold, hard realization that I was nothing to them. Then my phone lit up, an Instagram notification. Amani had posted again. The photo, everyone squeezed together, beaming. And the caption? It felt like a physical slap. The perfect Christmas with the ones who matter most. Number family only. I was the only one not included in family only. I wasn't just left out of a dinner. I was erased from the family portrait. Why? Why go to all this trouble? Why invent a fake storm? If they didn't want me, they could have just not invited me. But this was a conspiracy. You only create a lie this big when you're hiding something. The next morning, the sun was bright, mocking me. I was taping up a box of their gifts for donation when my phone exploded. It was my mother. I let it ring. Why were they calling? They got what they wanted. A Christmas without me. They must want something. I answered. I didn't say a word. "Serena, thank God." Her voice was high-pitched, frantic, and completely fake. "I've been sick. I know you're upset. Christmas just wasn't the same without you." The hypocrisy was so thick I could barely breathe. "I saw the picture, Mom." My voice was flat, cold, dead silence. Then a switch flipped. The fake panic vanished, replaced by a sugary, conspiratorial tone. The tone that meant she wanted something. "Serena, you have to understand. That was all Ryan's idea. They had important family business to discuss. High-level financial stuff. Things they didn't want to worry you with." She paused. "Not with your little non-profit job. My little job. The job where I managed the entire historical archive for the Atlanta Black Heritage Foundation. The job that preserved the stories of people like our grandparents. To her, it was a hobby, something that made me too fragile for high-level matters. Can you come to Amani's house right now?" She begged, her fake brightness dialed to a 10. We need you. Need me. That was a new one. The trap was set. But I was no longer the naive daughter they thought I was. I was a historian, and I was about to uncover the truth they were so desperate to hide. I walked into my sister's study. They were all there, arranged like a corporate board. My mother nervously tapping her nails. My father avoiding my eyes. Amani, arms crossed, radiating impatience. And Ryan, her husband, sitting behind his massive desk like a king, a predator's smile on his face. "Sit down, Serena," my mother ordered. I remained standing. Ryan began his smooth, practiced speech. "Thank you for coming. Yesterday was unfortunate. You lied to me," I stated. "You invented a storm. That's a bit more than unfortunate." Amani finally spoke, her voice sharp as glass. "Your nonprofit salary and your hobby don't put you in the high finance category. We were trying to protect you from the stress. The condescension was suffocating." Ryan took over. "Let me be transparent. My company has a temporary cash flow problem. We need a capital injection. Fast." My mother shot up, her eyes wide and greedy. "It's our turn, Serena. We can finally secure our retirement. Show the neighborhood what the Harris family is made of." Ryan tapped a thick folder. "We are sitting on a gold mine, the Mercer Tract. My blood ran cold. My grandparents' land. The 5 acres of downtown Atlanta my family always called Serena's worthless dirt pile." "It's just sitting there," Amani snapped. "Dirt and weeds. It's not valuable." "But it could be," Ryan said, his eyes gleaming. "I have a buyer. They want it badly." He slid the folder toward me. "This is a one-way ticket out of that little apartment and that hobby you call a job." He opened it. A letter of intent. A major developer, Next Gen Properties. The price? He paused for dramatic effect. My mother was vibrating. $1 million. My father let out a low whistle. "Cash," Ryan added, his eyes locking onto mine. "A clean, simple, $1 million deal." Amani stepped forward, her smile sharp, and because we're a generous family, we're doing a 5-way split. Dad, Mom, Ryan, me, and you. My mother chimed in, her voice dripping with fake magnanimity. $200,000, Serena, just for you. You could finally buy a decent condo, pay off your student loans. Or, Amani laughed, you could just quit that dusty old nonprofit. $200,000 is more than you'll make in 10 years at that place. It's a gift, Serena. We're handing you a new life. They all stared at me, waiting for me to cry tears of joy, to thank them for this incredible gift. But I was looking at the name on the contract, Next Gen Properties, and my blood didn't just run cold. It froze. Because in my little job, I'd spent the last 3 weeks tracking city development deals, and I knew exactly what Next Gen was building just 3 blocks from my family's worthless land. A $500 million stadium. $1 million was no gift. It was a daylight robbery, and they thought I was too stupid to see it. My family thought my little nonprofit job was a joke, but when they offered me $200,000 for our family's land, they had no idea I'd just seen the real price tag. $10 million. I looked up from the fake contract, my face a mask of calm. "The price," I said, my voice dangerously quiet. "It seems low for that location." The celebratory mood in the room evaporated instantly. Amani slammed her wine glass down. "Don't you dare pretend you know anything about valuations. You file old papers. This is the real world." But I was the only one in the room who knew just how real this was. Ryan's slick smile was gone, replaced by strained urgency. "Serena, the buyers won't wait. According to the will, we need the signature of every heir. You are the last one." That's when it hit me. Christmas wasn't just a party. It was a strategy. They had to break me first, to make me so desperate for their approval I'd sign anything. I pushed the contract back across the desk. "No!" The room exploded. "No!" Amani shrieked. My mother shot up. "Serena, don't you dare ruin this for your family." "I need my lawyer to review it first," I said. The word lawyer sent my mother into a spiral. A lawyer? You can't afford a lawyer. Where would you even get one? My father stood, his disappointment a weapon. This is selfish, Serena. Do you know what this money means for your mother and me? This is what you owe us for the life we gave you. The family motto. The invisible chain. But as I stood there, I realized they didn't see me as a daughter. I was a bad investment, and they were cashing out. Amani got in my face, her expensive perfume suffocating. You're jealous. You can't stand that I'm the successful one. You would rather see this family burn than watch me get what I deserve. Ryan's mask slipped completely, his eyes turning dangerous. If you walk out that door, this $1 million offer vanishes, and we all lose everything. Is that what you want? I looked at their hateful, greedy faces. I won't sign anything my lawyer hasn't seen. I picked up my purse and walked out. The sound of their curses followed me down the hall. You're dead to me. You'll regret this. I got in my car, my hands trembling, but I didn't drive to a lawyer's office. I drove to the Atlanta Black Heritage Foundation, the place they called my dusty old building. They thought I just filed papers. They had no idea what I actually did. This was my fortress. I went straight to the deep archive, to the private collections, Shelf 4B, Mercer Family Estate. I pulled out the heavy leather-bound box my grandfather gave me on my 15th birthday. Not Amani. Me. His words echoed in my mind. Rena, I'm trusting you with this, not them. Don't you ever let them sell our story. Inside was the original, notarized, ironclad last will and testament. My hands were steady now. I unfolded the thick, cream-colored paper. My eyes, trained to read legal documents, went straight to Section 4, the Mercer Tract. I read the words aloud in the silent archive. The real property shall never be sold to any private commercial entity for private profit. I stopped. My breath caught. I read it again. Shall never be sold. I kept reading. Said tract is to be held in perpetual trust, to be used only for purposes that directly serve and enhance the Black community of Atlanta. It was a legally binding covenant. The document Ryan showed me was a forgery. But it wasn't over. My eyes scanned down to Section 5, Executive of the Trust. My heart pounded. I read the name. I hereby appoint my granddaughter, Serena Alyssa Harris, as the sole executive and trustee. Me, not them, me. The very things they mocked me for my education, my dedication, were the exact reasons my grandfather gave me all the power. The full weight of it hit me. Amani, a lawyer, knew this. She knew she had no legal claim. The fake will wasn't just to change the no-sale clause. It was to strip me of my power. This was a calculated criminal plot. But why? Why this level of risk? A $1 million deal didn't warrant federal forgery. There had to be more. I went to my computer. My little job gave me access to every city database. I logged into the Atlanta Planning Portal. I didn't search for the Mercer Tract. I searched for the predator. Next-Gen Properties. I found a buried file. Next-Gen Mercer Acquisition Proposal V3. I clicked it. The PDF was massive. I scrolled past the legal jargon, past the renderings, straight to Appendix F, financial terms. I found the line item. Total acquisition price, Mercer Tract. The number wasn't 1 million. I leaned close to the screen, my breath fogging the glass. $10 million. Not one. 10. My stomach twisted. They had stood there and lied to my face. This was a $10 million deal. Ryan and Amani were planning to tell the family it was 1 million, pocket the other 9, and leave my parents with crumbs. The $200,000 they offered me was hush money, an insulting scrap. But why this desperation? I dug deeper. I searched for Ryan's company. The state corporate registry was filled with liens, unpaid debts to contractors, lawsuits from investors. He wasn't just in trouble. He was on the verge of total ruin. This wasn't about getting rich. It was about survival. Then, I found it. An offshore account in the Cayman Islands, registered in his name only, and a one-way, first-class ticket to Dubai booked for 2 days after I was supposed to sign. He wasn't just stealing from the family. He was abandoning his wife to take the fall. He had played them all. He used their greed, their favoritism, their lies. He let Amani, the golden child, orchestrate the felony, and he was going to let her face the consequences alone while he disappeared with $10 million. I held all the cards, the real will, the real contract, his escape plan. I could call the police. I could warn my sister. Or I could let them walk into the trap they built for me. I chose the reckoning. I let them panic for 2 days. Then I called my mother, my voice cracking with fake tears. "I'm so sorry, Mom," I sobbed. I was jealous. I was stupid. I'll sign. I just don't want to lose my family. I could hear her smug relief. She had won, or so she thought. They arranged a celebratory dinner at the most expensive restaurant in Atlanta. A public signing. A champagne toast to their crime. They wanted a performance. I would give them one they would never forget. I arrived in a severe charcoal suit, not the armor of a daughter seeking acceptance, the armor of an executive about to liquidate a failed asset. The private dining room was glowing with arrogance. My mother was on her 3rd glass of champagne. $1 million, she kept saying. Ryan sat at the head of the table, a king. Amani arrived, but she looked ill, her face ashen. She knew. She had seen the email I sent anonymously, the bank statement, the flight itinerary. I sat down. Ryan slid the forged contract toward me with a flourish. "Just sign right there, Serena." I picked up the expensive pen. I held it over the paper. He smiled. He thought he'd won. $1 million, I said, my voice quiet. I looked up and locked eyes with him. "It's such a nice round number. Almost as nice as the $10 million in the real contract you filed with the city. Isn't it, Ryan?" His smile shattered. The room froze. $10 million? My father roared. "What is she talking about?" My mother gasped. "She's lying." And then my sister spoke. Her voice was cold, quiet, and full of venom. "She's not lying." She stood up, throwing printed papers in Ryan's face. "Is the $10 million in the Cayman Islands account? The one with only your name on it? The one I knew nothing about?" The room erupted into chaos. Right on cue, the door opened. It was the director of the City Historical Preservation Fund, flanked by officials. He served them with a cease and desist order. The land was protected. The sale was void. Then the reporter walked in, his photographer's flash blinding. "Mr. White, any comment on the $10 million fraud scheme?" Ryan bolted for the door, but the officials restrained him. I stood, tore the fake contract in half, and held up my grandfather's real will. "This," I said, my voice ringing out, "is the truth. It names me, the worthless archivist, as the sole executive. It is you, with your lies and your greed, who have no place in this family's legacy." I turned and walked out, leaving the wreckage of my perfect family behind me.